Hi, welcome. In this video, we will solve problem Sudoku Solver asked by companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Goldman Sachs, and many others. Now let's solve one of the greatest among the greatest problems on backtracking, Sudoku Solver. Okay, one of the most famous problems, and yet this is, I will say, this is a bit more comprehensive, lengthy, but it is not that hard, that not typical. Okay, so let's see, let's understand the problem statement first. Sudoku solver. So we need to write a program to solve a Sudoku. If you know already Sudoku, right, basically what it is, they have some uh, rules in that and we need to fill it basically. I will tell you each one by one. So we need to write a program to solve Sudoku puzzle by filling the empty cells. So here you can see these are some empty cells and a Sudoku solution must satisfy all the following rules. So let's see what are the following rules. That each of the digit 1 to 9 must occur exactly once in an each row. So on each row, right, from each row, right, there are different rows. Here you can see 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4, 5, 6. On each row, right, there should be numbers exactly once from 1 to 9, right? And similarly on each column, right, there should be numbers from 1 to 9 only, right? And the occurrence should be exactly once. And in each of the digit 1 to 9 must be across their 3 cross 3 sub boxes of grid. So basically here you can see this is a 3 cross 3 grid. Here also numbers should be from 1 to 9, right? So if I say like here from like here to here, the number should from 1 to 9 n appears only once. Here, right, from here to here, the number should from 1 to 9 n appear only once, and in these grid, right, in this grid and this grid, the number should be from 1 to 9. Okay, so we need to solve this. Okay, and how we can solve? Basically, we will do backtracking. Let's see. So first of all, the character that is represented with dot in the sample input, it's represent like an empty cell. So I will show you. Basically, if it is dot, that means it is an empty cell. So here you can consider this as a dot. So basically, why I am saying that you can solve it by backtracking, right? See, we are not going to check any smartest way, right? Like, or a greedy approach here, like how we can solve this easily, right? What we are going to do, we will try each possibilities. And when we always try each possibilities, each iteration, right? We go with the iterative or the recursion approach, right? So basically what I will do here, I will try by each number. I will first write one and I can see like here in this row, there is no column. There basically there is no element that is has one. Here in this row, there is no element that is has one. And in this grid also, there is no element that has one. So I guess one can be filled here. Right. Then what I will do, I will simply move to the second column, right? And I will check again which number should I fill. Basically, I can fill numbers from 1 to 9, right? So I have a set of 1 to 9 only. So since I have filled 1, so I can't fill 1 here. If I am filling 2 here, so let's see, is there any 2? So in a row, there is no 2. In a column, there is no 2. And inside this grid also, there is no 2. Right. So what I will do, I will move ahead. Here the number is already present, so I won't do anything. Again, I will move ahead and I will try numbers. One I can't fill, two I can't fill. I will try three, but three is already there, so I can't fill three. Then I will try 4, and in this row and in this column 4 is not here, and also here 4 is not there, so I will fill with 4. Similarly, I will move here. I will try to fill it with 5 because 5 is not here, but here in the row it is 5. So I will try 6, but 6 is here. Okay. And I will try 7. So 7 is here in the row. I will try 8 then, and 8 is not here, so we can fill 8. Similarly, I will try each possibilities. And when you are trying each possibility, right? So I will try with 1, I will try with 2, I will try with 3, I will try with 4, I will try with different numbers, right? So when you are trying each possibility, that means you are going to call each functions, right? And suppose there can be some chances when I am filling all the numbers, like here, suppose here I am filling all the numbers from 1 to 9 and none of the number is satisfied, right? Suppose here I can't fill 1, I can't fill 2, I can't fill 3, I can't fill 4, I can't fill 5, 6. 7 also I can't fill, 8 also I can't fill, 9 can seem to be filled here. But if I fill 9 here, okay, that means here I can't fill any of the number. 1, no, 2, no, 3, no, 4 is already there, 5, no, 6, there in the grid, 7 here, 8 here, 9 is also here. So I can't fill any number that is starting from 1 to 9, right? I can't fill any number. That means I need to backtrack to the previous solution. Right? I need to backtrack to the previous. That means here whatever I have filled, there is something wrong. Right? Because here I can't fill any of the number, right? 1 is not filled, 2, similarly 3, so on. I can't fill any number. That means I will backtrack to my previous mark that I have done. Alright. And that's why I am saying that we will be requiring here recursion, because from one function call, basically suppose from one function call, I am moving to a next function call, right? But when this function is giving me false, what I will do, I will backtrack to the previous function and I will check like, is there anything that I have done mistakenly? So now 9, I can't fill it here, that means. So what I will do, I will try then 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't fill, 5, no, 6, no, 7, no, 8, no, and 9, we have already checked, we can't fill. So that means this is also not is the correct. Again, I will backtrack to the previous, whatever I have done, right? So I will check the 8, I will undo it. And then I will try, can I fill it 9 here? So yes, I can fill 9 here. Then again, I will try here 1, 2, 3, 4, everything, right? And here also, I guess I can't fill any of the number from 1 to 9. Okay, you can see 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here, 5 is here, 6 is here, 7 is here, 8 is here, and 9 is here. So I can't fill any of the number. Again, I will backtrack to the previous solution, right? And I will undo my answer, that is 9. Again, 9 is also done, so there is nothing. Again, I will backtrack, right? And this is how we basically we will change all the numbers, right? I will do function calls and there will be different function calls, right, from one, but this will be series, basically this we will do. So let's try this problem, let's try solving it. Let's see how we can go ahead with this problem. So first of all, approach is clear. Basically what we will do, if I say talk about how we are going to solve this problem, basically I will start from here, right? So basically how I will move through, I will take first row, right? I will take first row and I will move through each column one by one. I will move through each column one by one. So here 5 is filled, so there is nothing to fill. I will jump to the next column. 3 is filled, so I can't fill anything. I will jump to here and I will try the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on till 9, right? If I can fill it, I will fill it. I will again jump to the next thing and I will basically, this is how I will check. But see, now the thing, if I say this problem is divided into two parts, first part will be where I will simply do function calls, right? And the second part is where I need to check, is it valid or not, right? Whatever the number is valid or not. Like here, if I am filling 1, how can I figure out that this 1 is valid here or not? So basically, I need to check. Let's continue this second part first. Is it valid to fill with a number? So suppose I have here a number that is 1, but is it valid to fill 1 here? So we will check it this thing. So let's see how we can check this is valid. So basically, I'm talking about this valid. Now is valid is also divided into 3 parts, right? I can say A part, B part, and C part, right? A, B, and C. So where A will be basically in the A part, I will check in my row, right? Is the number in between the row in a complete row, right? So basically I can say here I will do a row check, right? Complete row check. Is the given number available number? Is it in the row? Then I will do a column check, right? I will do a column check. Is the number is available in the column, right? And then what I will do? I will do a grid check, right? I will do check in the grid. 3 cross 3, you can say grid check. That is the number is already available. Suppose I am going to fill 1, so I will check is the 1 is available in the row, right? I will check in the column, is number is available in the column or is in the available in the grid. So now let's see each one by one, right? First, let's understand row check, where I want some space. So let this here, I guess, and let me put this figure a bit here and decrease the size, I guess, and yeah. So I want to do a row check first. So row check is basically simple, right? What I will do, I will simply start one for loop that will start from 0, basically whatever the row is, right? So suppose this is row. Let's assume what are the things that we need to do for a row check, right? I want that particular row, right? And I want the particular number, right? So basically these things I want. So let's start. So what I will do for a row, if I'm available with the row, I will check each number one by one, right? So I will start from 0. I will go till less than equals to 8 and I plus plus. Why 8? Because the indexes are up to 8, because this is a 9 cross 9, right? So this will be, let me represent 0. Let me delete all this. It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So my I pointer will start from here 0 and it will go till 8. Yeah. So basically this is how I will check, and what I will do, I will simply put, suppose this is my board, I will say if my board where the row that is given, I have a row, right, and I, right, is it equals to num. If it is, what I will do, I will simply return false. Alright. If it is not, I will check the column check then. Same as column check will be also same. For column check, what will be requiring? I will requiring a column and the num, right? And again, I will check like this. I will start from I equals to 0, and again it will go till less than equals to 8, and I will do I plus plus, and it will check the column. If my board, right, the given column, I will simply say I and column. If it is equals to num, what I will do, I will simply return false, right? So column check is also simple, right? These two things are very simple. Simply you need to start a single for loop, right? Single loop that will check each number. 5 is there, is 1 is there? No. Is 1 is there? No. Is 1 is here? No. Is 1 is here? No. Simple like this one. And if any condition is true, you will return false. You will return false, right? So these two checks are done. Now how we will check the grid check, right? So let's quickly check the grid check, right? So basically what I will do, I need to check in this grid. But suppose if I am talking about the first grid, it's very easy to check in the first grid, right? What you need to do, you basically need to start from for I equals to 0, right? I less than equals to 3, I plus plus, and for j will start from 0, j less than equals to 3, and j plus plus. But for this, what you want the row and column, both the things, right? For a grid check, because was your number, what is basically, or which grid you are checking. So suppose you are checking it here. So you want to know the row and column, both the things, right? So row, column, and the number. So what I will do here, I need to check. So this is very easy. Like for this grid, for single grid, when I'm talking about the first grid, it's very easy. Basically, how I will check, I will simply check if my board comma I comma j, is it equals to num? Simply return false, right? Otherwise, after these three conditions, if these three condition is not returning false, so that means in the last I will return true. But here is one catch, right? Suppose let's take this example when we have 1 comma 2. So when row is 1 and column is 2, right? So when row is 1 and column is 2, that means I'm talking about this grid. Okay, this is very easy. Basically, for this grid, you will start from 0. You will start from 0. You will go till not equal to 3, sorry, less than 3. You will start from 0. You will go till 2 and you will check is basically, suppose num is something number, is 1 is there, 1 is there, 1 is there, is 1 is here, 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 like this. But what about suppose you have choose this row, suppose this grid, how you will figure out, and will this work? Absolutely not, right? Because this is for the first one. How you will make that this should be ensured that it should also work, right? And basically it should not be I and j, right? I should start from 3, right? I should start from 3, I should go to 5. I should start from 3, I should go to 5 in row, and column also I should go start from 3 and go to 5, right? And when we have row and column, what is the row and column? Let me use this. When we have row and column, row is 3 and column is 3. So how we can simply start from here? So there is something that I need to do here. There is something, a new starting point, a new ending point, right? So what I will do, see, I need to start from 3 and I need to go till 5. So basically I want to make this, can I say 3 plus I? If this will be 3 plus I and j also 3 plus j, will that work? Yes, it is, right? What, I will be 0, so you will be at here. J will be 0, you will be at here, right? If I will be 1, you will be at here. Then you will be at here, you will be at here, like this. So I want basically 3 plus I, 3 plus j, 3 plus j basically. Suppose if I am taking this grid, right? And where the column will be, row will be 8 and column will be 6, right? So here what I want, here basically I want 6 plus, if I say, here I want 6 plus I and basically 6 plus I and 6 plus j. So I will start from here. Basically I will be 0. So you will start from here and you will go till 8. Alright. So it will go till 0, 1, 2 only. So basically that your value will be 8. So I want something. I don't want I and j specific. I want that whenever my row is 3 and row column is 3 and 3, it should become I and j. When the row column is 8 and 6, it should become 6 plus I and 6 plus j. Are you getting this thing? Right? So how we can get this? How we can solve this issue? So I will create a new start row, right? I will create a new start row and new start column. And start row will be basically whatever the row I am getting, I will do the row minus row modulus 3, column minus column modulus 3. See, is this is working or not? See, if you are getting a row of 3 comma 3, right? 3 comma 3. Let's apply this. So if I am applying here 3 comma 3, so 3 minus 3 modulus 3. What is 3 modulus 3? That is 0. So it will become 3, right? Column is also 3. So 3 minus 3 modulus 3 will become 3. So yes, now it will be, instead of I will say 3 plus I, right? So my basically, I will say my I pointer, like here, this will be start row plus I. So instead of here putting I will say start row plus I. Similarly, j will be start column plus j, right? See, suppose let's take another number. So instead of here, let's take this one. What was this? 8 comma 6. 8 comma 6. If I'm applying here, row is 8 And 8 modulus 3, what I will get? 8 modulus 3, that is 2. I guess that will be 8 modulus 3. Yes, it will be 2. And 8 minus 2, that will be 6. Right? What about the column? That is 6. And 6 modulus 3 will be 0. So again, this will be also 6. So yes, I will say start row 6 plus I and 6 plus J. So I will check only this grid. Clear? So basically, I will change these all things and my is valid is done. Right? Basically, now I know how to check is valid. Clear? Now let's talk about the function calls. Basically, how we are going to do function calls. And that is very, very easy, right? It's not that tough. Basically, what I will do, let's understand it here. So what we will do. So I need to call, suppose my function is solve. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to call my next row and next column always. Right? My next row and next column. What will be the next row and next column? Suppose if 5 is there, so I need to call na next row and next column. If 3 is there, so I need to call na next row and next column. So here row will be same, yes, but column will be changed, right? And so there will be some board also, right? So when I need to call and how I will call it. So suppose if there is a number, okay, if there is a number, you will simply call this next row and next column, but how you will change your next row and next column? So I will say my row, my next row, can I say my next row will be the same row and next column only the column plus 1. Whatever the column that you are getting, I will simply, next column will be column plus 1. Next row will be same row because my row will be same. I will first iterate through this row, then I will move to this row. So when I will move to this row, so I can write that condition whenever my column reach to this end, right? Whenever my column is equals to 8, I can say at that case, I can say my next row is equals to row plus 1, right? And in that case only, my next column will change also. My next column is now 0, right? So basically I have started here and my next column will be this one, right? So clear? I will call this function, right? Now how I need to call it? Basically when I am getting a number, right? Whenever there is a number, I will call this function directly, right? Whenever there is a number, right? Or I can say if there is not the dot, right? So if basically my board, comma row and column, if not equals to empty, that means that dot that they have said, right? If it is not there, I will simply call this one directly, right? Call this function. Or also when I will call, right? I will, whenever I'm putting any number. So basically how I will put number. Recently we talk about I will put 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, right? So how I will put, basically I will take simply a loop, for loop that will start from 1 and it will go till 9. And basically I will call this function again and again. Call this function, right? So I will call this function, suppose the same function, right? I will call this function. But before calling also, I need to check is valid, right? So here I will check is it valid or not. So I will first confirm that if I'm putting 1, is it a valid or not? See, so I will first confirm this thing. Is it valid with the number? Okay, once this is confirmed, I will call that function. Suppose when you are returning from that function, suppose you filled all the numbers and when you are returning from that function, that means, right, either you have filled it, that's why you are returning, or maybe in that case that like suppose you have filled 1, right, and you have filled with 9 and that's done, right? You were allowed to fill with 9 and that's done. Now there is nothing to fill. So what you will do, you will say whatever the things that you have filled here. Now what you will do, you will undo the change. So here I will simply basically return false. Okay. And now how this will make sense. So I will tell you first code implementation. Okay. I hope few of the things are making sense to you. Okay. First of all, if you are getting this much, na, that from 1 to 10, right? From 1 to 9, we need to fill each one by one. If you are getting this thing that I need to call solve next function one by one, that is also clear. Is valid, you need to check, right? If it is valid or not, right? The rest of the things will make sense. The rest of the things will make sense once we will do the dry run. So now in the next video, right, I will give you a code implementation, right? How we can simply move towards code implementation, and then we can understand this by dry run. Okay. So I hope few of the things are making sense to you, right? That basically you will be requiring is valid. You need to put all the values one by one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, right? And when suppose the only thing that I have missed here, like basically that is intentionally, whenever you are returning from it, you just need to check if you are returning, that means you have filled either all the values from 1 to 9, right? Or like the function is completed. So if the function is completed in a good sense, that means you have filled the value. So it should return true, right? And if you have filled all the values 1 to 9, but still it is not valid, then you should return false. And in that case, what you will do, you will again make that number empty. So you will do board, whatever the row column you have selected, you will make it again empty. So we will understand this. We will understand in this code implementation. So now let's see. Now let's see in the our next video the complete code implementation of this problem. So see you in the next video.